Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation. My name is Bao. I'm taking this class as undergrad level. So today my topic is security assessment of home wireless network. Before we begin, just a quick note that for the presentation purpose, my slides will only show images and main contents. Further details, the details can be found in the speaker notes when you download the presentation slide. Okay. So why did I choose this topic? Because security of home wireless network is important. Wireless network has become popular in household setting. According to Parks Associates in 2018, approximately 76% households in North America use Wi-Fi as their main network connection. If in the past, wireless networks can mostly be found in public spaces such as coffee shops or airports, with the main usage for laptops and smartphones. Nowadays, people can use Wi-Fi network from the same router in the house, and even PCs are using wireless network instead of wired because of its convenience. So no need to find a good place to place the PC or to organize the internet cable from the router to PC. However, in terms of security, wireless network is not as secure compared to their wired counterparts because of the implementation. It's not easy for an attacker to penetrate a wired network because the network can only be accessible with cable connection, and therefore, without physical access to the network, breaking it is impossible. On the other hand, wireless networks don't require any physical access as the signal is broadcasted. On the advantage aspect, this creates convenience since devices can connect to the network anywhere in its range. However, this opens a security threat because anyone, includes the attackers, can connect to the network. To overcome the disadvantage, wireless networks are configured with different encryption methods and security settings so that they can be protected from unauthorized access. In this presentation, we will go over some security issues in wireless network in home setting and methods to enhance the security of the network so that by the end, everyone, hopefully including people who have limited knowledge about network security, will obtain a good security assessment skill which can be applied to their own home wireless network. Um, so to assess our wireless network, we need to understand the different security protocols. In home setting, Wi-Fi is the only wireless network. Therefore, we will consider Wi-Fi as the main discussion point at, as home wireless network. There are also other type of wireless networks such as 4G and 5G for smartphones, but the network providers are the ones who can change the security setting, and we as the end user don't have any control over the network. Um, there are four different security protocols for Wi-Fi: wired equivalent privacy, or in short WEP, Wi-Fi protected access, WPA, Wi-Fi protected access 2, and Wi-Fi protected access 3. These protocols don't provide the same level of security, and some protocols are older than others and therefore obsolete. Therefore, knowing them is important when we assess our own network security setting. So the first protocol, also the oldest one, is wired equivalence privacy protocol. It's created in 1997 for wireless network. As the name suggested, the protocol is created to provide the same level of data security as in wired network. And it's used RC4 to encrypt and decrypt data. The protocol is still available nowadays. Some routers still provide this protocol as a setting. Compared to other security types, WEP is considered the oldest and least secure. The higher level, the next one for the next protocol is Wi-Fi protected access protocol. This one is similar to WEP because they also use the same ASCII for encryption and decryption. However, it has additional features which make the protocol more secure compared to WEP. This protocol uses a feature called Temporal Key Integrity Protocol, or in short, TKIP, which dynamically changes the key instead of a static unchanged key in WEP. So this feature makes the attack to the key harder. WPA also provides extensible authentication protocol, or EAP, for authorizing users by using different methods besides relying only on their MAC address, which makes the network more difficult to be accessed by unauthorized users. Wi-Fi Protected Access 2 protocol provides more advanced features than its predecessors. Um, the biggest improvement is advanced encryption standard AES algorithm now is used as mandatory for encryption and decryption, which provides a higher level of security over the old RC4. Um, the protocol is used to dynamically change the key. TKIP is replaced by counter cipher mode with blockchaining message authentication code protocol, or stand for CCMP, because the new protocol provides better security. So far, WPA2 is the most secure protocol. From 2006, it became the standard of Wi-Fi devices, so that every device with the Wi-Fi trademark, as you can see on the picture, has to use WPA2. Um, the Wi-Fi Protected Access 3 is the newest Wi-Fi protocol. Chances are most of us won't have this in our home routers, since WPA3 is only available in routers from 2019. Therefore, so far WPA2 is still the most secure protocol that is used on most home wireless networks. WPA3 is designed to bring protection on public networks. Public Wi-Fi is usually more vulnerable to attackers than home network. However, with the new Wi-Fi protocol on the public wireless network, users' traffic will be encrypted whether or not the network requires logging in or open to everyone. And this new protocol is also provide a feature to protect against brute force attacks, which will be really extremely helpful, as we will see in later part of this presentation. So up to this point, we know that although the router provides selections for different security protocol, like WEP, WPA, or WPA2, they don't provide the same level of protection. WEP is the oldest Wi-Fi security protocol, and therefore the most vulnerable to attacks. So to enhance the security of our home network, the very first thing to do is to check which Wi-Fi protocol the network is using. Um, each operating system will have a way to show Wi-Fi information. Since I'm using a Windows 10 machine to create this presentation, Windows 10 will be the reference for the upcoming steps. For other OS such as Linux, macOS, iOS, or Android, the instruction can be followed easily on the internet, can be found easily on the internet. On Windows 10, to check the current Wi-Fi security type, simply click on the Wi-Fi symbol at the bottom of the right corner, then select Property under the current connected Wi-Fi network. Then the setting window will be opened, which shows information about the wireless network that you are connecting to. So from the image, I can see that my current wireless network is using WPA2 protocol. Um, The option to change Wi-Fi security can be found from Network and Sharing Center option in Control Panel. The window will look similar to the right image. From there, we can select the security encryption type. We can select the security type and the encryption type from the drop-down list. Um, since each Wi-Fi security provides a different level of protection, the best practice is select the newest protocol for our home wireless network. However, that that ability depends greatly on the router. Most home wireless networks don't have WPA3 protocols since it's only in the new routers produced from 2019. Therefore, if your router has an option to change the security type to WPA3, then no further assessment needed since it's the best Wi-Fi protocol up to this moment. The most common home wireless network setting will be WPA2, which is so far still doing a good job to protect the network against attackers. Therefore, home wireless network with WPA2 protocol is good enough for network protection, although it's worth upgrading the router to use WPA3, but it is an option. Um, if the router only provides options for WEP, the wired equivalent privacy, or WPA, like the first WPA protocol, the security is at risk of getting attacked. Um, it's a must to upgrade the router to a newer one, which provide newer Wi-Fi security protocols such as WPA2 or WPA3. Um, the old WEP and WPA are old security protocols that use an insecure encryption method, RC4. Therefore, they are vulnerable to cyber attacks. The security behind WEP was broken since 2005, and there are many tools that make the attack so simple that the attacker doesn't even need to have a deep knowledge about network security, so they still can perform the attack on our network. Um, so even if we upgrade our security type to the newest one, the router itself can be vulnerable. Even when our home wireless network is equipped with WPA2 protocol and a strong password, so that is not easy for anyone to guess, the network is still vulnerable to attackers, not from the security protocol. Because so far, since WPA3 is still new, so far WPA3 is still the most secure protocol. Um, so the vulnerable for the attackers not from the protocol or not from the password, but it's from the router itself. In routers, there is a feature called Wi-Fi Protected Setup, or in short WPS, which allows users to connect to the network if they forget their password by using the 8 digits pin number at the bottom of the router, as you can as an example from the image. This feature poses a huge security vulnerable since it bypasses the whole password setup and security protocol to allow access to the network by a fixed 8 digits pin number. Therefore, even though WPA network is strong, it still can be cracked by attacking the Wi-Fi protected setup feature in the router. Since the pin number is fixed 8 digits, the main idea for this attack is to use brute force to find this WPS pin in order to gain access to the network. In 2011, a WPS pin has been broken by a brute force attack called River. This method doesn't work on modern routers since they have a feature to prevent multiple tries of WPS pin from which protect the feature from against brute force attack. However, preventing brute force attack is not enough to keep WPS safe. Another method called pixie dust attack is used to crack WPS pin with more effective and less waiting time. So instead of using brute force, this method exploits the pseudo-random number function in order to break WPS encryption. For a pseudo-random function, if the seed is good enough, the function will generate numbers that are close to random. However, uh, router manufacturers use a weak, easy to get seed value, such as 0 or the timestamp at the beginning of the HWPS transaction, which make the encryption weak and easy to break. So this is out of the reach of the user because we are not the one to create, because this um, pseudo random function it depends on the router manufacturers, and most of the time they usually pick a weak one. So these types of attack can be performed easily without knowing the detailed implementation of the method, since there are tools created for them, which makes the attacks more dangerous. For my own personal experience, just by being familiar with command lines in Linux, I can perform River and Pixie DOS attack on a test network by a tool available in Kali Linux by just following the menu options from the tool without the need to know its implementation. So to protect our wireless network from this attack, the simplest method is to disable WPS. So then when in the worst case scenario, if the user forget the password, they can always reset the router using the reset button instead of typing the pin. The last assessment is the simplest one since it doesn't require any configuration on the network and router. In the worst case scenario, if the attacker takes control of the network and change the password, changing the router is the only solution. However, for most of the case, the attacker gain access to the network without changing the password. In this case, we can prevent the attack by monitoring the devices connecting to our wireless network. There are many ways to monitor device connections. Users can log in to the router's web interface to see the list of devices. If the router doesn't have a web interface, a software can be used for that purpose. The image is an example of a Windows software called Wireless Network Watcher. By monitoring the list of devices in the wireless network with their detailed information, such as name, MAC address, we can find out which devices are not our but joining the wireless network. Furthermore, there are softwares that provide option to block specific devices from the network. An example is the Windows software called Who's on My Wi-Fi. This application be can also be found on mobile devices. Besides displaying the list of connecting devices similar to the wireless network watcher, the application also provides an option to block the device from the wireless network. Therefore, users can use this feature to allow only recognized devices in order to protect the wireless network from being accessed from unauthorized devices. Yeah, so that will be the end of my presentation. So for the slides, I using a presentation template in Google Slide by Slides Carnival. Here is the list of references, the list of websites that I use for the content of my presentation. Um, and yeah, so thank you for listening to my presentation. And if you have any question, so feel free to leave comments or any feedback. Yeah, so thank you.